We love keeping things local on this show, and the best way you can support what we do is by heading to brothershowdyshell.com. It's the new home for the podcast, the band, and Harrisonburg's only game show, Bingo is Life. Drop your email to help us beat the social media algorithms, and you might just score a free t-shirt out of it. That's brothershowdyshell.com.
This week's episode is brought to you by Restless Moons Brewing, a Harrisonburg original. If you're looking for a true local hangout, this is it. They got fantastic craft beer and a community vibe that is unmatched. Find your favorite spot at 120 West Wolf Street. Visit restlessmoons.com or find them on Facebook for the full schedule. Restless Moons, crafting community one pint at a time. Stay local.
Give him something out of the old can of sock juice.
This is why I need Quaker meetings.
Why I need more oats in my
They keep you
life.
focused.
Okay, kids, it's time for Bingo is Life.
The Harrisonburg Podcast.
Brought to you by the brothershowdyshell.com.
Oh, nice. Well done. I like that.
I'm still Jay's there. I was when I walked through the door anyway. Got the usual cast. We're not all Y chromosome tonight, but,
Yeah,
but
thank
first
God.
of all,
Yay.
we got Chris and Mike Hattie Shell, the Bingo Boys from
thank you.
Prairie Branch, left to right in green and purple.
That's right.
Christian Parrott in the house.
I'm gassy.
He's we'll leave that aside. And all the way from Staunton, Virginia,
Hey.
the one and only Mum Shackle.
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Glad to see you.
Did you say you're classy?
He's classy.
Yes, that's what I said.
What you been up to down there at the Wayne Theater?
Yeah.
We have just finished Singing in the Rain.
Nice.
And going into a big dance rental this Sunday. It's the Valley Dance Theater's spring showcase. And
Nice.
It brings a
Ooh.
lot of folks out of the woodwork. So we're
Are they an Augusta County group or?
I guess they're based in Waynesboro. But they have a spot there and they have a spot in Staunton. So just a big group. 3 shows that day, and I'm just making sure I have enough concessions.
Nice.
I'm just making sure I have enough soda pop.
I'm doing a play reading Saturday night.
Look at you.
Nice.
Where?
Where are you
I
doing
don't know
this?
where.
Okay.
Ah,
I don't know what the play is yet.
Great publicity.
yeah.
I don't think it's open to the public. It's at somebody's house.
Oh, that's
Okay.
exciting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling us about an event no one can attend.
Right, that's
Awesome.
Exclusive.
That's the best way.
Jay's there is only booking exclusive.
Yes, exclusive.
Wow. So just to even hear his voice on this podcast is something.
Right.
Wow. I'm amazed the show is still free.
Yeah.
Oh, we do have Friendly City Fables on Thursday at
Ooh.
Warrensburg Theater. Duh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So come to that. It'd be nice to have a
Fallopian tubes.
I swear we
You'll
will.
be in tubes.
No, fallopian tubes.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I
Just
swear.
had a small stroke.
Edit that out.
So once upon a time, I had those removed, and we thought we'd put those in as suggestions for the improv show.
Okay.
The actual
And,
tubes?
Jay's still hanging on to it
He is, yeah.
fiercely.
Well, I promise one day when our band says, hey, we can't meet on Thursday, that'll be the day we show up.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to call
And-
a bomb threat into your house.
And do I?
Is that how it works?
Am I supposed to scream fallopian tubes? Is
I
that
think that's what Jay would put you up to.
okay?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Hey, good job with the Singing in the Rain thing, because it really created rain.
Yeah.
Before that
We had a lot of
production,
rain.
we had no rain.
Right. Yeah.
After production,
It
rain.
rained
Right, yeah.
every day.
Oh, it did rain every day.
Yeah,
It's
it
been
really
nice.
did. Yeah, the
do you have
shows-
an off switch you might be able to?
I guess so, because the show struck on the 17th, which was that hot
Yes.
Sunday, and then we went into a rainy forecast. And now that we've touched on the weather, to go over to sports. How was bowling this evening, guys?
Hey, you know what? Bowling was good, but not that good for a $100 winner, though. We didn't.
Whatever. She did great.
She
The
did great?
same person won twice.
Yeah,
she just kept
did.
winning.
Yeah, she kept
It
winning.
was one of those nights where we had one person win a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
which
that was pretty cool.
Good for her. But we
good.
had, I would say 80% of the crowd was first timers.
Yeah, it was.
But
lot
we
of
had a
good
packed
first-time
house.
crowd. Yeah, it
So
was nice.
yay to all the people
I
who
just
are coming out.
I talked with the bartender, and he said that this is one of the busiest bingo nights they've ever seen.
Oh, sweet.
Pretty cool.
I would have to disagree with that.
I talked with Jay. He said
He normally does
no.
disagree with whatever. you
I've seen
said.
a lot more people in here. I've seen it.
Yeah.
5 gazillion people in here. Not that it was a bad crowd.
No.
Great crowd.
No, they were into it. They were into it. They were
Maybe
quiet.
they were drinking more than usual.
Bartender's perspective and a guy who just walked in, very different perspectives.
Truth. But the beauty of the way is that we do this every Tuesday night, and the show's been crazy fun. And summertime is different. Summertime is a bunch of Massanutten people,
different
on
vibe.
vacation. It's people that are like, "What is this Harrisonburg?"
What is
and they
this
come
thing?
down and they walk in here, and then they're like, "What? How do you what?" And it's a lot of fun. So yeah.
What is this, Harrison?
What is this? All right, we've got a
We
guest.
do have a guest.
Would you like to welcome the guest
Sure,
aboard?
Sure.
Go for it.
Our guest is a delightful human who I'm like just like she's so cool, and she's so cool that she's here. She's so cool, and she's here. Like they're separate things.
I think your text to me was hella cool.
Hella cool.
Hella cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
yeah.
a level I will never
Yeah.
attain.
You're
Oh
right.
my god.
She's like
Well, you're too old for hella.
What?
she's like the punk queen of Staunton.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would
Whoa.
say.
Oh, hell yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you can
That's
take that.
like,
You can
that's
take
quite
it.
a title. Thank you.
I think so. That's what we call you at our place. We're like, what do you think the punk queen's up to today? Because this is Maggie Worthington. She does a number of wonderful things, including being the punk queen. She's also the lead singer in Heemeyer, a sludge metal band that I can hear practicing from my apartment.
Hi.
Well, welcome aboard. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
How do you spell Heemeyer?
How do you smell it?
Well, I almost said that. Yeah.
You
It starts
don't
with
want to
an
smell us. But you
Nor-
spell it Heemeyer.
What does that mean? Where did that come from?
So there's some lore behind this name.
Ooh, we like
okay.
lore. We do like lore.
All right, have any of you guys seen there's a documentary about an event that happened in 2004 in Granby, Colorado. There was a man who built a killdozer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with this?
Yeah.
Yes.
His name was Marvin Heemeyer.
Okay.
So, and one of the things that he said is sometimes reasonable men must do unreasonable things.
Holy.
That's nice. Okay.
That's the coolest name and origin for name I think I've ever heard. That's
Yes.
fantastic.
And
Is this an ethos for the band then as well?
It is. And honestly, I think it's also just as much that the music itself kind of sounds like a killdozer.
I want to come to every show. now.
I was at the Shenandoah Songwriters Collective, and somebody was talking my ear off about wanting to write a song about the Killdozer. I said, "Well, do it.
Well, do it.
Little did you know there was a band.
Maybe you've done it already."
Oh yeah, I mean we have a couple different songs that kind of reference it specifically, and we actually used a few sound clips of Marvin Heemeyer speaking in some of the songs. Like
What?
in some of the older recordings of our music.
Where is he in jail or dead or?
He passed. So
Did he? Okay.
the end of that story basically was that he destroyed a number of buildings and basically crashed into a building into the basement, was stuck in there, and he had welded himself inside the
I
killdozer.
remember that part.
And it took them 3 days to get him out. But he basically, after destroying all this property, no other people were harmed.
Yeah.
But after destroying all this property, he shot and killed himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a tragic story. It
Yeah,
really is.
yeah.
And I don't mean to glorify or haha,
Nope.
It is
Yeah,
a very
sure.
tragic story.
No.
But it's also really incredible. It's worth watching the documentary. I'm trying to think of what it's called. But
There are
I'll
a
find it
number
and put
of-
a link in the show notes.
yeah, because he had his reasons.
That's
and,
right.
But
And he was a welder.
Right. He built himself into basically a tank.
I think he was mad at a bank.
Well, he was actually mad at a local network of good old boys who were really trying to undermine his business, and they were kind of in with the local government. There was some corruption involved, and
I've heard that somewhere, but
You referenced we, and who's the we that goes along with you?
in the band in
Yeah.
Heemeyer. So there's myself, there's Pat Jarrett, there is Joe Frazier, and Scott Hensley. And one thing that's also a little bit different about Heemeyer is there are no guitarists. So we have two basses, played by Pat and Scott, and then Joe plays the drums, and I'm the vocalist.
Holy God.
yeah,
That is
yeah.
fantastic. Wow.
Yeah.
How did you get this conglomeration assembled?
Actually,
Put an ad in the newspaper.
And,
Yeah,
and how many guitarists have you had to beat away with a stick?
Actually, it's so funny because actually before this band formed, Joe is also originally a bassist. He learned drums for this band.
Nice. We don't need a third bass. Someone please play drums.
But basically, the story is that Pat was in a cover band, and they were playing in downtown Staunton, and they mostly played like classic rock, dad rock kind of songs.
Sure.
But Pat is a fan of metal,
Yeah.
and he was like, "We really need to play." Oh my gosh, my brain. The name of the song is escaping me. Oh, he says,
All the leaves are brown.
no, he says, we really need to play Dragonaut by Sleep.
Oh.
And his other bandmates were like, what are you talking about? Nobody is
Yeah,
going to know what that
Yeah,
is.
sure.
We are not playing that. We play like classic. We are not playing Sleep. He finally convinces them, right? So they're playing this downtown. Joe, who had never met Pat at the time, was walking downtown and he hears Dragonaut playing.
Yeah.
He starts looking everywhere. He's like, what is going on? Who is playing this?
Yeah.
What is happening? He follows the sound and he's watching the band and he's like, what are these guys doing playing Dragonaut by Sleep? And he sees Pat and he goes, that's the guy who made them play it. So after the music, he pulls Pat aside. He says, hey, let me buy you a shot. I got to talk to you about music.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was the birth of Heemeyer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now,
That's awesome.
Run it back. What's your backstory? Arriving at Staunton. And
I have had a long and winding road. I have zigzagged across the country. Although I grew up in Virginia, I've lived in Utah and Massachusetts. Basically, in 2019, I moved back to Virginia, originally with the plan to become a barber. But, that was late 2019 when I had that plan. So naturally, that
Things had to pivot.
Yeah, pivot.
Kind of
Everybody started
on a pandemic level.
cutting their own hair at home.
Exactly. I don't know how to shorten it.
You don't need
It's fine. We got all night.
That's true. Okay.
This is a 4.5 hour podcast.
Oh, I was living in Northern Virginia, and an old college buddy of mine was living in Pennsylvania, and she and I were talking on the phone a lot during pandemic, and we had nothing else going on. And she said, I got to get out of Pennsylvania. And I said, I got to get out of Northern Virginia.
Amen.
I can't stand it here.
Yeah, I lived there for like 2 or 3 years.
Oh my gosh. Don't get me
really-
wrong. I grew up in Northern Virginia, but I never, ever, it was never my vibe.
Yeah,
I never
yeah.
fit in there. And I was just like, yeah, I got to get out of here. And she goes, well, my parents have this house down in Staunton, Virginia that's just standing empty. Nobody's in it. And they're going to move there in a year when they retire. But would you want to live there for a year with me and be my roommate? I was like, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
And so we moved to Staunton.
Had you been to Stanton before, or did
I
you know what
had.
you were getting? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, I
You
had
knew what you were getting
visited.
into.
I had visited, and I always loved it.
Yeah,
And I always knew that I wanted to end up in that size of town.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of the sweet spot where it's got a little bit of the city feel, but it's still intimate.
Yes.
Still strong sense of community.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we love Stanton.
Love Stanton.
We love Stanton.
love
We do
Stanton.
pick on it a lot,
The Queen City.
You should.
but we do love Stanton.
I mean, Heemeyer's done several shows at the Pony.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's
Cheers
another
to
kind
the
of like-
pony.
Yeah.
Cheers to the pony. What a
to the
tragedy,
pony.
man.
Yeah.
That's a
God love 'em.
loss.
God
That's a
love 'em.
loss.
It is. It is.
What's your musical background? How did you wind up? Were you always into this kind of music, or?
I wasn't actually. I grew up more on folk music. My parents met and fell in love because they both loved bluegrass. That was part of their story.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of part of my upbringing, and listening to like old time and bluegrass and a bunch of different kinds of folk music. And then of course I sang in the church choir growing up and all of that. But and I learned acoustic guitar at 17. I did classical violin all growing up. And so, yeah, metal was not really in the mix.
When did you find it? When did it hit?
I actually discovered it in Staunton because of Heemeyer.
Nice. Yeah.
Heemeyer was my introduction to metal.
Nice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, like I, it's funny because like I'd always been curious about it, and I would meet metalheads and be like, what is the deal? Why are
Yeah.
metalheads the coolest people
Right.
ever all the time?
Right.
They're always like the sweetest, kindest people,
They have like a very, very austere appearance.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are all wearing black and patches, and everything sounds angry.
Right.
But then you go and talk to them, and they're the nicest people.
It's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so true. I was like, there's got to be something to this.
Yeah. Well, there's so much catharsis in happening in
Yeah.
the performance and listening to metal that
And that kind of ties in what I kind of wanted to bring up too. One of the things that Maggie did recently that really just struck me and was so cool. She organized an event in Staunton, and it was in a building that not really necessarily open to the public. So the show was kind of like a whisper campaign to get started.
okay.
On some of the posters that you saw around, it said, "If you want to know where the show is, ask a punk."
yes, ask a punk.
We were talking about that last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so just that whole ideology of like, it was a mutual aid show. So
Yeah.
so just that so many of these punk shows that are happening are more about mutual aid and about helping your community,
Right.
which I think is really important right now, and it's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard a lot of mutual aid shows have been popping up. I know Sagebird is going to have one in August, in which they're having a bunch of different groups come in, and they're just raising money for whoever, and what it's kind of, it's great.
Yeah.
Good job.
I think it's a really important time for it. Everybody is struggling right now. There are a lot of vulnerable communities, and I just feel like people are starting to catch on that, we can step up and help each other out without needing some outside organization to do it for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, this is a great tie-in with Townie Together.
We gotta
which
say
is
it, yeah.
happening at Restless Moons, which is our sponsor for this show.
Yay!
Thank you, Restless Moons. Have you played at Restless Moons?
No.
They just had
Heemeyer has played there before I was in the band.
Okay.
Very good. Well,
To say they just had a punk show this Sunday.
yeah, Shagwolf.
Shagwolf is there.
What was
Nice.
So prior to your being in the band, it was 2 basses and a drummer.
So actually, yes. When I first met them, I first met them in 2020, and obviously they were like a bubble. They decided to be like a little bubble during COVID, so they were the only people that they were like in the same room with.
Yeah.
I met Pat downtown, and we were hanging out and social distancing, but he invited me to band practice, and I have like a picture of me at one of the first band practices I went to. I've got the mask on and everything, and
Cool.
but like they were practicing in this shack. I mean, like when I say shack, like tiny little broken down shack, no bathroom, and like everything was in one tiny room, and it was just the 3 of them, no vocalist, and they would just jam, and it was just this doomy, sludgy jamming. And there was only enough room for their stack of amps along one wall and for each of them. And then I would have to, like, they would all get in place and then I would come in the room and close the door behind me and like kind of scooch into the corner and just stand in the corner and just watch. But so I had not really experienced metal before that, even though I had tried listening to some. I had no understanding of all the different subgenres and styles.
It's amazing to me, like for metal, like the idea of subgenres is so important.
It's so important.
I mean, like when you talk to people who are into metal, there are so many types of subgenres, and I'm trying to learn them all.
It's worse than the Mennonites.
That's right.
Sludge Mennonite.
Sludge Mennonite.
I'm ready
They're
for it.
just, yeah.
Well, hold on. I derailed the commercial.
No, you're good.
We were talking about Restless Moons.
Oh, it's fine.
We'll circle back.
We'll circle back.
We'll circle back.
I've found that the subgenres of metal, their names are so descriptive. Like,
It's very good, right?
Absolutely.
So sludge metal.
Yeah. You can feel what that feels like, right?
Yeah, right.
You
right.
know what that sounds like just by hearing the word.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Back in my previous life, I used to have a record store, and I lost track of the subgenre. I mean, these guys would listen to it. Oh, that's no good. That's no good. That's no good. Oh, this one's great, and it all sounded exactly.
Well, see, like there is something weird. I like talking to people who pinpoint the genre for what it brings to them. When you talk to people who make subgenres into some sort of like competition, where they're like, oh no, I don't like that. You know, it's got to be this. It's like, okay, come on, whatever. Yeah. You know, I like the idea that the subgenre kind of gives you an idea of what you're getting into.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'd never heard of sludge metal, so I was very excited to listen to it. I hit the play. I was like, it's exactly what I thought it would be. That's awesome. That is awesome.
It is very descriptive.
How much of the subgenre delineation is due to, say, attitude or philosophy or lyrics or non-musical elements, if any? Or can you always tell by listening, even if it's another one?
It's a great question.
That is a good question. I think that primarily it is about sound, but there are definitely certain lyrical tropes or like themes that do show up more in certain subgenres than others. So, you know, some kinds of metal, you're going to get a lot more stories about wizards, and some kinds of metal, you know, you're going to get, you know, like there are thematic differences, but I honestly feel like it starts with like the sound. I think that's really the main thing.
Yeah. Well, see, I think this is what like attracts me to metal. All right. Totally. Because I'll just throw out there, I absolutely love the genre. Right. When I songwrite, we've talked about this before. Like I go for sounds. I like even when I'm thinking about lyrics, it's about the sound of the lyric, not necessarily what the words are trying to say.
Mike is a doom metal guy.
No, it's not.
You
doom.
have a great metal voice, by the way, and you rarely unleash it. But
every once in a while. Every once in a while.
Oh yeah.
Thanks. But I will throw out there, like, metal is one of the very few. There's only 2 or 3 genres I can think of that will actually make me cry while I'm listening to it.
Yes.
I get like, I mean, like there are some genres that will make the hair stand up on my arm, right?
Yeah.
And metal does that, but like it gets to the point where I'm screaming and crying at the same time, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know why it happens either.
Well, I think it's a very like visceral and somatic type of music. That's kind of the point of it.
Yeah, right.
And so like when I first experienced, you know, going to that shack and standing in that room, in that tiny room,
Right.
and, you know, a part of the ethos of doom and sludge is there is kind of a component of amplifier worship where they are
Amazing.
they are playing their amplifiers as instruments just as much as they're playing
Absolutely.
the bass.
Yep. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
the amplifier is an instrument in the band.
Yeah.
And so it's very, very loud.
Yeah.
And so being in the room and physiologically feeling the sound waves just blast through you, through your viscera.
Yeah.
It's like it was this revelation for me, and all of a sudden it was like, holy shit, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And then I fell in love.
Yeah, I had the same. So a good friend kind of said, check this out. And at the time, I think it was Slayer at the time, and I was just like, holy shit. That feels really good.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah, it feels good.
It's like a housewife discovering the washing machine.
Oh, really?
I love that analogy. I love that analogy.
Just gonna sit here for the afternoon.
Just for fun.
For the agitation.
I could make a lot more jokes along that line, but I'm not sure you guys want them.
The internet has provided me with a couple of different subgenres here. So we got heavy metal. That makes sense. Okay. Thrash metal, death metal,
Yeah.
metalcore, black metal, doom metal, power metal. That's the fantasy that you were talking about. That's fun. Often fantastical.
Yeah, there you go.
There's like a whole bunch of subgenres from Sweden that are
Yeah, right.
that are not on that list.
Oh, it's
Oh, yeah,
like
no,
IKEA
I
I mean,
metal.
there's so many.
Yeah, there's so many.
They
That's
really-
just like
They
the
tap
first
into the
thing.
frustration you feel when you're building furniture.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's also a lot of DIY components.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on the two basses. Do they ever play chords? Are they playing more than one note at a time?
Basically, the way that the two basses work together is Scott kind of holds down the low end, and Pat kind of plays as though he's as if he's the guitar.
Yeah,
So
that makes
Pat's
sense.
on the higher end, Scott's on the lower end, and they'll sometimes swap solos back and forth or do some guitar harmonies. But yeah,
I have to see this band. Oh my God!
And are you-
It
how-
sounds
how-
so cool.
Are you singing low? How low do you go?
how low do I go? I have a variety of vocal styles in this band. Like, because I grew up singing folk music, I often have clean vocals, but also being in this band has inspired me to explore screaming and yelling and getting more aggressive and more textured with my vocal styles.
Do you write the lyrics?
Yes. So some of the songs, one of our songs that we're currently playing was written by Scott, lyrically. And then we have a couple of songs we still play that the lyrics were written by Chris Lockhart, who was actually the first vocalist in Heemeyer. He's a buddy of ours. He is also in The Smell of Death. I don't know if you've heard of them. But he was a vocalist before I was, and that actually kind of shifted the style a little bit. And then Heemeyer became a little bit more hardcore, and then he left, and then I came in, and we kind of got back to the doom and sludge. But yes, I've been writing lyrics. Yeah.
Sweet.
Tell me about the Doc Watson song. Or
Yeah.
Whose idea was that?
That was my idea.
I thought so.
Like I said, growing up on folk and bluegrass and stuff like that, I love Doc Watson.
Yep.
I always grew up listening to his music. My dad plays guitar and used to play some of his songs. And I had his album Memories on CD in my car. And I got in my car and the song Wake Up Little Maggie came on. And he sings it a cappella.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there in my car and I'm like, oh my gosh, we could do this. And I was like, this is the hardest song I've ever heard. Like, he's just singing a cappella, but it's like the heaviest song I've ever heard.
You guys do Wake Up Little Maggie?
We do.
It's beautiful. It's got beautiful like drone to it. Oh, it's good.
I got to see Doc Watson on a number of occasions.
No kidding.
Yeah, and holy
He's
crap.
really old.
I saw him when I was 16 years old back in the 40s.
No, it's and that blows my mind. Again, I have to say, I have to see this band.
So speaking of, then where are you going to play next, or where can we look for you?
So, both fortunately and unfortunately, we're playing on the 6th in Charlottesville, which we've had planned for a while before we found out that Golden Pony was going to be closing.
Yeah, right.
So I'm really hoping to go to Golden Pony on the 5th to
5th.
catch
Yeah.
that one, but we're going to be playing on the 6th in Charlottesville, and then I believe the 22nd in Chesapeake. I might have to double check if that's confirmed yet.
Okay.
Cool.
We got a couple things coming up.
Yeah.
Is there a Facebook page or a
Yes.
website or something like that? Okay.
Yes, so we are on Facebook and Instagram.
Great.
On Instagram, we're Heemeyer_Doom.
Nice.
They're on Spotify. You know how I found you? I hate to admit it, but I finally just typed in your name, and the Google artificial intelligence page said, gave me the link to your band.
Nice.
It describes you as a local celebrity and singer, and
Whoa, local celebrity.
AI's getting scary. It's
That's
telling
a
us-
little weird.
it was. Yeah, there's some weird stuff on that internet thing
Yeah.
these days.
I don't trust AI.
Maggie's band, because you rehearse in the Crowley Building.
We do.
Right? Okay. So the Crowley Building is in downtown Staunton. It's on Beverly Street. It's across the street from the Clock Tower and Collins Market, and it sits above a hardware store that. It's not a hardware store. It's just a curiosity shop that's never open. It's
Curiously,
you can
It's
look in the
never
windows.
open.
It's never open. Nothing is
Cool.
for sale. It is just a display situation. And then there's also it's fascinating.
You can always tell who's not local when they're checking the door because everybody's like, it's never open.
It's not. You can't go in there.
Stanton is
I
a
don't-
fun town.
I haven't seen 12 Monkeys recently enough to be able to. Upstairs in this building is just this haven of amazing artists.
Yeah.
It's where Maggie's band rehearses. Shagwolf, I believe, rehearses there as well. Kutch Tuttle, that was where his art studio was.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Nick,
So it's
Nick Thurston.
So just so she hosted a show there, and we got to infiltrate, which was really exciting to get to see inside of this space. But whenever they have band practice, we can hear it from because we live across the street, and so it's like, band practice. We're always so excited to hear you.
That
all
makes me so
playing.
happy.
Yeah.
It has a big lobby, right? And
Yes.
then you go upstairs. It's
Yes.
really cool.
Well, right at the doors, there's a big stairway.
Yeah.
And then the atrium is upstairs.
Yeah, it's a really fantastic space.
And there's behind the I'm leading up to a really weird question. Behind it, there's a little shop where a fellow has been making bags out of reclaimed straps and such. And there's an old weathered sign on it that says Worthington Furniture. And I was like, wait, is Maggie related to that family? Or is there a connection there?
Okay, I wanted to know this too
Yeah.
because I was like,
Are you the Worthington?
I never see my name anywhere. I never see Worthington. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So I tried looking online. I couldn't find anything. I actually went down to the Staunton Historical Society to find out where that Worthington came from. And they were so helpful. We went through old building plans and newspapers and everything. We're just pouring through all these old documents.
No one's been in here since
Right?
19.
Yeah. It was wild and it was so much fun. I felt like a little journalist or detective or
Yeah,
something
right.
let's dig in. It turns out that the Worthington, I'm trying to remember what his first name was, but the Worthington guy whose name is on that building
Has to be Rutherford.
was
Rutherford
from
Worthington?
Maryland. And I don't believe there is any connection to my family. My family was out in Utah, and so I don't think there's any connection. I don't know.
Yeah, I just had that thought yesterday, and I was like, well, I guess I can ask her on the podcast. So,
It's a good question. I had the same question for a long time.
It's got to be a British name, right? Or
Oh, for sure.
or Irish or something.
Yeah, British. I'm ridiculously British, even though my family's been here for so many generations.
Oh, lovely.
the Worthingtons.
My full name is Margaret Jane Worthington.
I think from the cotillion, you can.
Yeah.
Totally. Did we dance together? Oh my God. Yeah. Margaret Jane Worthington.
I just popped up out of a Jane Austen novel.
Out of a scone.
Exactly.
I do have to just real quick pause because we had the most delightful time hanging out at Restless Moon.
Yeah.
My goodness. This past Sunday, there were multiple bassists related to our guest when we participated in the jam. They are the coolest. It's the coolest place on
In
the face
fact,
of
it
the
was
earth.
3 bases.
3 bassists.
Well, I
One
texted
washed
you,
up.
I texted you guys to say if there's any bass players there, and you said no. And I show up, and there's like
Because
There's
it was
3.
because it was true at the time. You made the text.
Everybody called their friends and were like, we need bassists. Dad, get down here.
So
There's
then
a
the
dearth
bases
of
all
bass.
They all
showed
showed
up.
up at once and
So cool.
created their own bass heavy band.
That was this Sunday.
Yeah.
That's
so fun.
There was
It was
Queen City
super-
Music Studios was also hosting a bluegrass jam, and it was that moment when the sun came out to peak in the middle of Sunday, and
Yes,
and
right.
all of the musicians went out in the street and had their jam on Sunday. So again, we just roll up the windows. We don't even go to shows anymore. We just
Tell us about how what's your approach to promotion in these days when everybody and their cousin has stuff out and everybody's using AI and
Oh,
And
boy.
who knows what's going to happen? You have any insight from your side of the?
Well, first and foremost, the first part of that is we will never use AI. We are all very, very anti-AI. It pisses us off, actually.
How about Owl? Anybody named Owl? Will you allow them in the band? Yeah.
I mean,
Too close.
in terms of promoting, actually, Pat is also a photographer, and he has an enormous catalog of amazing photographs that he's taken. And he often makes our posters and just uses, photographs that he's taken. It's an incredible resource, and he's really, really good at that kind of stuff. So he does a lot of our promotion posters and stuff.
Yeah, we'll
That's
have to
cool.
have,
Now you're
Pat
using-
on when we have like. I just haven't booked men for a while
Yeah,
because
don't-
Good for
we
you.
need a
Yeah.
break.
Yeah.
we have no problem finding men for this show.
Don't we all?
Holy smoke!
We all need a
no,
break.
you're really cool. We'll get you on someday. We just need to have like, we just need like a little like mixaroo.
We've had about 10 old men on in a row here lately.
It hasn't been that bad.
Oh, okay.
Not that bad.
I
Maybe
agree.
6 or 7.
But our friend Julia Catherine, she's kind of like an anti-promoter, and it sort of works in her favor sometimes, I think. I don't know. I haven't worked it out in my head.
Well, I can say
He hasn't run the numbers.
One of the things we are trying to do with brothershowtoshell.com
Yes.
is use that as a force for good against the evil social media algorithms.
Hell yeah.
So what are we doing? We're building an email list.
Love it.
It's so
Hey, that's
beautifully old
legit.
school.
It's goofy, but it is what it is.
That's
Okay.
legit.
Yeah,
We're
right.
working on training crows.
Oh, that's right.
It's
You're-
going to
you're
take
doing
a
gross.
while.
Yeah,
But-
it's a different social approach.
Yeah. We'll
Well-
get them to drop some sort of messages at some point.
I was talking to a guy today, and he was telling me, he was like, "Oh man, well, you just gotta find somebody who's already famous to say, oh, go see these guys or something like that." And I was like, I don't want to, because we play music and we have this thing, and I was like, I don't know how to make it more popular. And he was like, well, you just got to find this guy. And he was giving me these guys' names. And I was like, is this really the way it works?
Can I throw out there? I'm not really interested in being popular. I'm interested in being relevant, and like authentic, like
Authentic, there you go.
authentic for our community, authentic for the people that that we live with and do things with. That's what interests me.
So that's actually something I was wanting to say is like how you promote or how you choose to promote really depends on what your goals are.
Right.
And it depends on what you want ideally out
Sure.
of your creative projects.
Right.
And so like for us, for instance, we are not really interested in getting famous.
Right.
We're not interested in, playing all over the world per se. I mean, sure, it might be fun to like book
Yeah.
a faraway show or whatever, but
Yeah.
like we're
Go
not
to
trying to.
Chesapeake. You're out there. You're in the world.
I know, but I mean, like for us, like we love playing regionally. We do enjoy going on the road. Not that we don't, but like, we're not. That's not our main focus. For us, like what we care about most is connecting with the community, and and metal and punk are a community. Right. And so like connecting with community, collaborating with other bands and artists, and really just the creative process. Like those are the things we care about the most.
Yeah, no,
Hell yeah.
it's so good to be. I mean, it's fun to be a part of, and if anything, it's like if you can build on it, that's the opportunity. That's as far as like popularity or whatever that brings, as long as it can bring you more people to connect with. Like I love doing this show and meeting people like you and everybody trying to do things and be just
When creatives promote other creatives,
I love it.
That's kind of the magic part.
That's what's up.
Yep, that's what's up.
That's
what's up. Except I don't sound as cool when I'm like, that's what's up. Yep.
Yeah, it does sound better when you.
Well, I mean,
Word
then,
up.
Speaking of all that,
Yo,
I mean,
Kristen, you're hella cool.
Oh,
You're
thank
hella-
you.
I think
I
I feel
appreciate you.
I feel like we have to give lots of love to John Goldman for setting up the townie together.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's also at Restless
Speaking
Moons.
of
Yeah.
which,
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge event. He just sent out this email, and this very long, detailed, beautiful email to all the bands. He has music all day long happening there. So there's say 15 different acts
It's amazing.
throughout the day. And it's going to be a great time. And all the money, he's doing it all for free. There's all the money goes to ALS and towards,
And I'll throw out what Chris is really trying to say, because I know he knows it. It's an incredible amount of work that John is doing, because Chris has put on these kind of things too.
Totally.
And understands how much effort it takes. I mean, musicians are one thing, they're like herding cats anyways. But to getting so many people together all facing in the same direction, it's a big deal.
I do have to clarify. Did you say herding cats or hurting?
Herding.
Herding. Okay, that's good. That's better.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Sure. And I got to, again.
We're pro cats.
I don't mean.
Pro
what do you
cat.
like the cats?
Well, actually,
Oh my gosh.
Well, seriously.
I'm not anti-cat.
Join us
but
next week when we
pro.
debate cats, dogs.
I'm coming back.
Oh man.
Are we hurting them or hurting
Are you a
them?
cat?
No,
Are you
that's what
a cat person or a dog person?
I love all of them, but
I love all animals.
but I do lean more towards cats.
Sure. They're awesome. They're awesome. Well, not to beat a dead cat, but the.
Swing, I believe.
No, the fact that at the Townie, I just want to say that
Yes.
at the Townie Together show, the fact that Restless Moons is hosting that, and we had such a good time on Sunday, and they're being so selfless about hosting that event, making sure that the funds go where they're supposed to go for that show. It's awesome.
Yes.
It's-
Well,
It
yeah,
is.
so Restless Moons
Hats off
is
to them.
donating, I don't know, a percentage.
Proceeds, yeah.
yeah,
Like-
of beer sales too.
Yeah, of beer sales.
which is incredible.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, they're a great community
Yeah.
bar, basically. I mean, yeah, it's very cool.
Yep.
Speaking of, we did get a chance to taste our beer that's coming out.
I texted my brother about that. He was so jealous.
So our band, Dr. Howe and the Reasons to Live, has a beer coming out, which should be available at the 1991 show.
Yep.
And it's called Dr. Howe and the Reasons to Brew. And it's
Can you tell us about the flavor profile?
It's a mixy.
Flavor profile?
It's a mixy style lager with definitely got a strong hint of lime,
it's so
and
good.
it's a
So-
beautiful summer beer.
That sounds great.
Yeah,
so good.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Hang on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to taste it, and it's like,
Okay.
oh,
did.
I like where it's going.
It was like our own party.
It really brewing it down there Sunday.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he brewed it like weeks ago, I think.
it's in the process.
They got the slurp from the cauldron. Jay.
Yeah. Takes time. Good beer takes time.
It's another good band name, Slurp from the Cold.
Slurp from the cauldron, which might
Slurp
be
metal.
slurp metal might be another genre. Yeah, slurp metal.
Slurpy death metal.
The main instrument is just like a wetback.
I feel so like I feel like I should say my favorite my introduction to heavy metal was Pantera, and I can remember
They're Brazilian. aren't they?
Vulgar. No, that I can remember Vulgar. No, that
Who am I thinking
Sepultura.
of? Sepultura, that's
Yeah,
right. That's
Sepultura.
Right.
Dude, they are great.
Edit that out. Edit that out.
There you go.
Yours was Pantera.
Yes, but I can remember this love. You take this love, hey, love, score.
Yeah.
And I remember being like a kid. Oh, okay, cool. And just like, and then they do the thing that you guys do, which is from bum bum bum. Ba-dum,
Yeah.
ba-dum.
I love that.
There is
I
something
love
beautiful.
that.
When you slow it down, it brings so much power.
Yes.
And it's funny because I feel like hip hop knows how to do that too.
Yeah.
It
But
totally
like
does.
there's something when you go halftime or when you like just slow it down, it's like suddenly it draws all your attention in. And you're just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. It's time to get serious, Sam.
Yeah.
Who,
Right?
It's time for the spin cycle.
I know one of your questions is often, who are you listening to now? Spin cycle. Listen to you.
Called a callback. That was a callback.
That was a callback, yeah.
Callback too.
So who are you listening to now that you're excited about?
Oh man. Oh boy. This is a good question. I'm all over the place. Okay, so one of the bands I really enjoy. This is not like new or anything, but I really like Mars Red Sky. They're a European band. I really enjoy. Oh no, names are bad. My brain can't do names.
Boston.
I literally have to look at my phone. I'm so bad at like calling up names.
That's all right. You had a good one.
Yeah,
that's
that's a good one. Yeah.
perfectly good. I love it. Well, folks, it's that magical time already.
The clock
Can
on
you
the
believe
wall.
it? I know.
The clock on the wall says.
That's what
There's a
was going.
sad sort of clanging for the clock in the hall.
Oh, good. Clock metal. Excellent.
It's a subgenre of time.
All right, kids, we have successfully navigated another podcast episode
Oh my
with
god.
no crow attacks. Once
That we know
again,
of.
join us down here at 7:30 to 8:30 every Tuesday night for Bingo is Life, the interactive game show live and in person on the big stage. Ruby's Arcade, our sponsor here, with your chance to bowl for $100 on the vintage Baltimore duck pin bowling lanes. And you can listen to
Call
us anytime you want on the streaming platform of your choice. Maggie Worthington, all the way from Staunton, Virginia. Thanks for coming by.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Good to see you here again. Thanks for getting us a good guest, Mom Shackles.
Yeah.
Oh, brothershowdyshell.com. Get on that email list.
BrothersHowdyShow.com. Get on the email list, and maybe
That's right. When we get 50 subscribers, I'll give away a shirt.
Yeah.
That'll be in 2027, baby.
We're actually halfway there.
Halfway
I'm gonna
there.
clear out. We're halfway there already.
Okay, kids. Anyway, so we'll see you again next week, and keep your powder dry and all that other stuff.
Powder dry. Good night.
Good night.
Bingo is Life, a post-bingo Harrisonburg podcast, is brought to you by the Brothers How to Show and our friends at Ruby's Arcade in downtown Harrisonburg, Virginia. If you've enjoyed the show and feel it's worth spreading a little joy in this world, please tell just one person that you like this podcast. Word of mouth, more than any other form of promotion, is how creative works get noticed and sustain themselves. Thank you, Andrew Hickey, for that bit of wisdom, and thank you, listeners, for being part of the fun.